Chicago Public Schools has laid the foundation for me to grow and inspired me to come back and serve students. I am a product of CPS. I've attended elementary, middle school, high school, all with Chicago Public Schools. Welcome. My name is Jamal Mahmood. This presentation will cover issues revolving around and dealing with CPS. We face many problems within our schools. It does not negate the fact that we have 320,000 students with a budget over $9 billion per year. That's impressive. According to Vivia and others, CPS is the fourth largest school network in the country. The U.S. Department of Education defines the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, from their website, and I quote, is a federal law that protects the privacy of student education records. The law applies to all schools that receive funds under an applicable U.S. Department of Education program. Chicago Public Schools is one of many school networks throughout the United States of America that had to follow the strict guidelines of FERPA, since they have accepted federal funding from the U.S. Department of Education. For instance, in 2021, CPS received $1.8 billion in federal relief funding. Raise Your Hand is a neighborhood council NGO comprised of CPS students and their parents that wanted to have a say-so in how these federal dollars will be allocated throughout CPS. Computer security is a significant facet for all schools and all other institutions guarding private information. Unfortunately, data breaches for CPS did take place. I will start with the years between 2015 and 2019, when sensitive information was hacked. According to a CPS statement, data had personally identifiable information was stolen, as indicated by Maria Enriquez from Security Magazine. This type of information included names, birth dates, gender, grade levels, and the school the student was currently attending. The data for the student ID numbers was also breached. CPS email addresses were taken as well. This was a serious undertaking by cyber pirates. The positive flip side was that no social security numbers, financial and health information, grades, or test scores were taken. There are more problems with computer surveillance. This time around, it's in-house. Kompilova summarizes that CPS has been monitoring students' activities on social media. CPS intends to stop fights, gun violence, cyberbullying, and in-school bullying caused by social media threats. School safety is the main priority. The downfall of the program of watching what students are posting on social media is interfering with the privacy rights of students. The program might be discriminating by only observing both LGBT and students of color. Students might create a self-imposed censorship because of the fear of posting their free expression, knowing they are being watched. Last but not least, the federal government has warned school districts that using digital surveillance software will perpetuate the racial and existing disparities among minority and majority students. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, was signed in 1975 by President Ford, and it ensured that free, appropriate public education was given to eligible children with disabilities throughout the country. In addition, it guarantees that our learning institutions must provide special education and other services must be rendered to students with learning and physical disabilities. Citing IDEA procedural manual, the IDEA defines students with disabilities from ages 3 to 21 until the day before their 22nd birthday. And if their 22nd birthday happens during the school year, they are eligible to have educational services until the end of that school year. Furthermore, students are defined as disabled if they have mental and physical health conditions identified in the statute that have problematic effects on educational achievement and require special education. Paraphrasing IDEA procedural manual, the definition of a student under Section 504 is that a student has a physical or mental health impairment that limits their life accomplishments. Second, the student has a record of an impairment. Third, the impairments are recognized by professionals and community members. And last but not least, a student with an IEP will not be provided a 504 plan because all things can be addressed in the IEP to help the students with their academics. We're going to go over what's the difference between an IEP, which is the IDEA plan, and 504. Forestville has posted on its website the major differences between 504 and IEP. 504 is for the entire student's life. IEP is only until the student turns 21 on their last day. 504 does not require a written plan, and IEP does. 504 has a periodic random evaluation, must receive permission, and the IEP is every 3 years, and parents must be part of the IEP team. The curriculum is not customized for the 504 student. An IEP student has an individualized plan. I am going to end this presentation with Title I. President Johnson pushed for Title I. It is part of his legacy and agenda during the War on Poverty in 1965. It is a federal program that helps students who come from low-income households. The money is given to schools with the highest number of students who qualify for free or reduced lunch. The group We Are Teachers argue that the federal dollars are to enhance the educational experience, not pay teachers' salaries and curriculum. Title I policy is intended to reduce the gaps in educational accomplishments between low-income and non-low-income students. Title I is the most extensive federal assistance program for schools in the United States. Now, the criteria for Title I status: the schools must have 40% of its student population qualify for free or reduced lunch, and then the school receives Title I benefits. Parents can apply for free or reduced lunch. Their children are eligible for a free lunch if their income is 130% below the federal poverty line or lower. In 2020, $16 billion was allocated to students in Title I schools. This means that each student received $500 for the school to use for more teachers or more resources like after-school tutoring. It's great when the money is being used to teach our future generation. Thank you for viewing. I wish you well.